J-Lo, the narcissist falls. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. What happens when things start to go wrong for a narcissist? What does it mean to that narcissist? How does it impact upon that narcissist? Well, Bridie Pearson-Jones writes in the Daily Mail, she has been dubbed the Queen of Dance and is considered one of the most influential Latin entertainers of all time, with 6 albums going platinum. But Jennifer Lopez's career seems to have plateaued of late. Her recent tour, her first in 5 years, has been met with low ticket sales. Now, the fact that people would not be rushing to purchase the tickets and that they're not selling out promptly would wound the narcissist. It would signal to the narcissist that they are not doing well, that their popularity is not as great as it ought to be. Naturally, the narcissism then needs to defend the narcissist against this wounding, and it would do so with an ignition of fury, telling the narcissist that of course it's not their fault. The low ticket sales have been as a consequence of the failure to promote the upcoming tour properly, as a consequence of perhaps unfair and incorrect adverse publicity, that the budget for promoting the tour was not allocated at the right level. The narcissism will not say to the narcissist, nobody loves you anymore, you're not popular, but rather reinforce that the narcissist is popular and that the low ticket sales have clearly been as a consequence of the interference and incompetence of others. The article also explains that her new album is lacking her typical fanfare, debuting at number 38 on the Billboard 200, despite getting the most physical sales of the week at 14,000 copies. Again, coming in at number 38, whilst we wouldn't say it's disastrous, it's not as high as a narcissist would prefer. And again, the narcissism works to ensure that the narcissist is protected by telling them that these sales are as a consequence of a failure to promote, that there is not been sufficient marketing done to ensure that people are aware of the sales, that DJs, for whatever reason, aren't playing it as often as they ought to. But what it won't tell them is that the reason it's not getting any sales is that it's not particularly influential or remarkable album, because that, further, would be a problem for the narcissist. This is why so many narcissists become wrapped up in delusion, because they cannot contemplate that people wouldn't be interested in them. That simply does not compute with the narcissist. How would you not want to come and watch me? I am a brilliant entertainer. Why would you not buy my album? I'm a fantastic singer. Why wouldn't you want to come and attend my tour? It's an absolute brilliant show. The narcissist cannot comprehend why somebody would not be interested in them. And this goes for someone just as like Jennifer Lopez, but other narcissists also. This is why the narcissist reacts so badly to being rejected by a potential intimate partner, or rejected by an intimate partner no longer wishes to see them. How can you not want to be with me? I'm amazing. I'm the best person on the planet. I'm fascinating, beautiful, interesting, insightful, great to be around, humorous, entertaining, whatever you wanted to use as the descriptions. Accordingly, for you to suggest that you no longer want to be with that narcissist simply doesn't stack up. There's clearly something wrong with you. This doesn't necessarily mean that the narcissist expects to be the most popular, although certain narcissists will do, but it translates into a belief that the narcissist should be loved, should be liked, should be admired by many people, because it doesn't make sense any other way. And if there has been a failing in that regard, that's nothing to do with the narcissist. No, it's everything to do with the fact that you must have some strange preferences when it comes to people, or, as I mentioned, that a book hasn't been promoted sufficiently well, and that's why it's not being purchased. The situation with Jennifer Lopez is a far cry from her early noughties peak, when the singer sold more than 80 million records and had global headline tours. Again, her narcissism tells her that that should be repeated. It doesn't accept that there should be any waning in popularity. On the contrary, it tells her that she should become all the more popular. It doesn't accept that people might have interests outside of J-Lo, but rather that they evidently have got something wrong with them to fail to be interested, that she should be getting more popular. Even just 4 years ago, the star was applauded for one of the greatest Super Bowl halftime shows in history, where she performed a medley of her greatest hits with Shakira, as millions of people watched around the world. Imagine all of the fuel that Jennifer Lopez would be getting in that situation. So where exactly did Jenny from the blog go wrong? There certainly isn't a lack of advertising, so one of the first excuses that might be utilised for her, the Daily Mail discounts straight away. The mother of two's campaign for her latest album, This Is Me Now, is self-financed at a striking cost of $20 million. The album, which is heavily inspired by her rekindled romance with husband Ben Affleck, has been accompanied by a visual film, This Is Me Now, a love story, dubbed bonkers and an over-the-top delight for fans by critics. An Amazon Prime documentary titled The Greatest Love Story Never Told, about her romance with a Batman star, also accompanied the release. The moniker is an interesting choice, given the couple called off their first wedding due to excessive media attention, demonstrating, of course, the nullification of threat to control and hypocrisy. But why would this mean fans are turning on the once-beloved star? Her appearance in the documentary has seen her dubbed out of touch and delusional by some fans. Well, imagine Jennifer Lopez being delusional as a narcissist. That is a surprise. In one widely reshared moment, J-Lo plays with her hair in the mirror while reminiscing about her upbringing in the Bronx, a famously working-class neighborhood of New York. "I like taking my hair out like this," she says. "It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. Crazy little girl who used to be fucking wild and no limits, all dreams." The clip gained backlash on TikTok, with one user, who goes by Angela and claims to have gone to the same school as Jennifer Lopez, saying she was lying to look more human. Well, 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 a narcissist revising history. "We both attended an all-girls high school in an Irish and Italian neighbourhood, so you weren't running up and down the block," she said. Critics, too, have met the documentary and album with a lukewarm response. For all her promises to show us the real her, it's a struggle to see it in the slick and sexy production, The Independent said. Again, a narcissist distorting the reality. The Guardian added it offers very little outside of simply soundtracking a cosy night in Chez Benifer, adding it was hopelessly middle of the road. So why have the tides turned? Mostly the star isn't keeping up with the times, according to one brand expert. The backlash against J-Lo has been for sure bubbling for a while. In the last decade, despite her love life being well broadcasted, relationship bulletins, there was still an air of mystery around her as a mega superstar. Emily M. Austin, who runs the PR agency Emerge, told the Mail. The control of what was fed out to fans via social media and press coverage meant it was much easier to control her image. Note, control. The first big moment for the backlash came as the Super Bowl documentary Halftime aired in 2022. Her behaviour seemed uncompromising and whingy, having to share a stage with Shakira. Naturally, of course, the presence of another star would impact upon J-Lo, thus threatening her sense of control. She doesn't want to share the limelight. Her grievance about it wasn't expressed eloquently and made her seem unlikable. In the shadow of beloved and long-suffering Jennifer Garner, Ben Affleck's ex-wife, much of the imagery we've seen from J-Lo has been mundane. Car rides with Ben, curbside arguments, fast food takeaways. Often looking miserable, this has shattered the fourth wall, one which we'd all bought into. We didn't want her to be a normal person. Thus, the narcissist, by sharing too much, causes it to lose that mystery, and once again demonstrates that her narcissism, driving her to tell the world all about her, actually then backfires by causing her to be less well liked. The big challenge with a star like J-Lo is staying power. As her fans have grown older with her, she's not done a good enough job of engaging with new fans and bringing them on the journey with her. She's also not moved her origin story on at all. Much of the backlash on TikTok particularly has been as a consequence of her new documentary, billed as a self-indulgent, out-of-touch memoir. The footage has provided easily cut up clips of J-Lo saying delusional things, including her memories of the Bronx some 40 years ago. Her $60 million mansion has people convinced she's not really connected to running around the streets. Of course, once again, we have a delusional narcissist that says, oh yes, I'm from the streets, while sitting in a $60 million mansion. As with any launch, product market fit is important. Fundamentally, this was a documentary no one needed or wanted. It's like an elaborate LA version of a therapist telling you to go and journal, except this homework was a $20 million self-funded timeline of her love life. Thus, J-Lo, a narcissist experiencing falling record sales and a lack of interest in her tour as a consequence of delusional, entitled behaviour. Another narcissist who has met with considerable success, but is now having a problem staying there as a consequence of her lack of boundary recognition, resulting in the oversharing of the life about her and reducing the mystery surrounding her, meaning that fewer people become interested in what she's really doing. Also, the warts and all portrayal causes people to be put off her, seeing her as unlikable, unrealistic, and of course, hypocritical. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.